tell us about your background a little bit and like a little bit about yourself, where you live and that type of thing, and then we'll go from there.
Sure. I live up close to Dallas. We moved here about a little bit over a year ago. And as you know, we did youth ministry, college ministry, and then most recently I was the CEO of a children's home up in Kansas. So we had gotten out of ministry work to join the family business to do some safety supplies and different things. So we literally opened a brick and mortar company here about a year ago, and moved down here to Dallas and moved back to Texas. So that's what we've been doing now for a year, I guess. Yeah, after spending 17 years of doing that, man, this has been a totally different ball game.
Yeah, I mean, we've had this conversation before, but my dad was, in the ministry, so I definitely grew up with the the
Yep.
income of a minister father. So it's definitely different. It's part of probably what has kind of drove me to be entrepreneurial and try to go out there and make income, because I never grew up probably with the income that I saw my buddies growing up with and whatnot. But that's
Yeah.
cool. So you went into the safety supply business, and that's kind of when I got a hold of you, I think, is you were trying to get that kind of up and
Yeah.
churning and stuff like that, because your family's in that, right?
Yeah, we were looking, and my family's owned a safety supply company since back in the 80s. So we were looking to try to figure out a way to market it online. Uh, I initially found you guys. I was searching for something online, came across a video. I think it was a hangout like this where you were just kind of chatting about, hey, here's what we're doing, and here's what we're thinking, and here's kind of how we're doing it. And that's when you and I got on the phone not too long after that.
Tell me, like, what was your main motivation for joining? Do you remember?
I think I had seen the idea, the concept of working with small business, and in my safety business, I kept thinking there's got to be a way to market this thing to where I can get more just online sales, so that I'm not having to do so much running around. Because I go to oil field locations, that's mostly what I sell into. So I'm out, running all over creation up here in North Texas, calling on big oil field accounts, small oil field accounts, all kinds of different service companies and that sort of thing, production companies and that sort of thing. So I thought, man, if I can market this thing online, it'd be great. And then after I got in, it kind of opened my eyes to really what I could do with it.
How many
Nine
clients do you
months.
have now, do you think?
I was adding up the other night, and we're launching almost 30 this month.
Okay.
And those are new sites. So I don't even know, man. We're probably close to 45, 50 sites, maybe more at this point. I don't even know. And
Yeah.
that's probably not counting some of the client sites, too, that we've done. So,
You said I saw you post in the group that you landed a deal. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about that? You don't have to tell us the niche. You don't have to tell us the city, because I know it's big timer for you.
yeah.
But kind of tell us what happened. Like, how did that all come about?
That was actually a really strange thing. Found the lead through a different kind of area than we ever have, and kind of started talking with them. We're talking, it's such a big deal. It took probably 2 or 3 weeks. Everything kind of hammered out as far as negotiation goes. But once we've landed that deal, it'll be a big upfront, and then it'll be a monthly fee that grows over time. So as we hit benchmarks and we hit certain numbers, they pay us more per month. So it's a big one. What's
Yeah.
crazy is you can literally land a account like that will pay you more in a year than I used to make as the CEO of the children's home.
Oh, for sure.
So,
No, absolutely. And the cool thing is, you and I both know this, is it's the same process whether they're a huge company or whether they're a small company.
yep,
There's nothing special. There's nothing different. And I think one of the things that I've learned over the
yep,
years doing this is, like, once you have this skill set, you really are unstoppable. You can go so many different directions with it. You can help so many different
yeah,
businesses. You still have to learn a little bit about each of those businesses and how their leads come in, all that stuff. But you apply the same processes, and that's why I try to encourage people when I get on the phone with them. I'm like, listen, if I was going to teach you to be a wedding photographer, if I knew how to shoot weddings, you would have that skill set for the rest of your life. You would know what shots to take. You would know how to use Photoshop. You would know all the different things of editing and all that stuff, and you could go and make an income for the rest of your life. And I think the one thing I want to get through to people, and I think obviously you're someone that reflects this perfectly, is once you have this skill set, the world kind of becomes your oyster. you could literally just continue going and scaling up as big or as small as you want. Now, you and I are similar in the fact that we love this. It's like the thrill of the kill. We love bringing in, building digital assets. But some other people, I've talked to some people today that are in the group, they're working full-time jobs and they're just trying to get some extra income coming in on the side.
Yeah.
They got a couple projects going. So I think it's like to each their own on how you want to attack this. But like, what would you say, or what are your plans in the future for your business as you see the growth into year 2?
As you know, I have a couple salespeople now that's working for me. I have a full-time guy that does a lot of the work with me and for me now, and then I even have some other guys that do some building for me. So we're scaling really, really fast, and at this point, I'm not even sure where it's going. The cool part about it is there's no ceiling, so it can grow as big as we want it to grow, and there's so much of it that once it's built and done, it's fairly passive, so there's not a whole lot of work that has to be done monthly on all those other accounts that I've set up. So, man, I don't even know. I think I told you the other day, we're actually trying to sell or do something with our safety business. We want to get rid of it just because the time that we're spending in it is wasting time that I could be spending doing this.
Sure.
And so we're trying to decide what to exactly do with that, and then that's going to make a big difference in what we do this next year for sure. But I built it on evenings and weekends. I mean, I did the same thing. I was running a full-time business, and then in January when the oil field tanked, I just decided, you know what, let's just do this. And so it started growing rapidly then. Right. And now where we're at now. So
what kind of advice would you give to people?
I think the number one thing is you've got to really want to run a business. I mean, I think this is a business, and if somebody is interested in a business model that they can take and scale, and that they can work part-time, like you said, and make just a few thousand a month, or if they want to make $20,000 a month or $50,000 a month or whatever, the possibilities there. The process is, like you said, is exactly the same. I'd never worked in any of the platforms that you showed us. So I was not a web guy. I'm not a graphic guy. I'm not a designer. I'm not any of those things.
Right.
So, I went in and just figured it out based on what you guys did, follow the process to a T. And now I'm just taking that same process and applying it to all kinds of different markets. And through those different markets, it's allowed me to build the business we have.
How has it changed your family's life?
Yeah, we talked about it, and you and I were chatting earlier about my daughter. My daughter is also doing this with us, so this is a family business for us. And so she wants a Jeep. Told her if she wants to build the business, she can buy a Jeep. And we're still searching for the right color. She wants some polar blue or something. So we're still searching for the right color. We haven't found it yet. They're pretty hard to find, but for us, this has given us the ability to I know you probably saw that my mom was in the hospital the other day, and we just loaded up and went because we're not tied to any location. I mean, we can load up and go now. The safety business and stuff, we're kind of trying to figure out what to do with it, so we're even more mobile than what we are right now. And I think I told you our goal is to get to the point where the business is big enough that we can go and bless others through ministry work. And that's our goal, is to get back to ministry eventually, to where we can do it without having to worry about a paycheck.
Sure.
And go where we want, do it the way we want, be mobile, be able to travel, do those other things, and not have to be not have to collect a paycheck, not have to be a burden on a church budget, and just be able to go do those things. So
cool, man.
It's changed a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy that it was just less than a year ago that you and I were on that phone call, and like how fast it can go, and also on a shoestring budget. I think. I mean,
that's right.
Working off you think about it, you think about how much, like I have a auto glass and window tint business, as you know, and just like, even though that's not a high overhead business, you still today we made an order for $2,500 of window tint film just to be able to service the cars, and then 2 employees, and rent, insurance, and all those things that come with those brick and mortar businesses. Like, people really don't understand. Yet this business that we run, I'm running from a laptop, you're running from a laptop from home, absolutely destroys that brick and mortar business without any of the headaches and all the ability to go and do whatever you want. So it's pretty cool. So I really appreciate it, man. And I guess I'll see you in the Facebook group.